Hi, my name's Andy. I've lived in Birmingham since 2001. I had the privilege of growing up in a household where my parents really knew God and they led a church. And so my childhood was really marked by Christianity, by going to church. As I got to secondary school age, it became increasingly less important. I was going to church on a Sunday, but actually Jesus definitely wasn't the most important person in my life. And I had knowledge of him, but whether I had a relationship with him, I'm not so sure. On my 13th birthday, I was out for a meal with my family and started feeling really nauseous. And then I got these incredible shooting pains down my legs, which just increased and increased until the pain was unbearable. And I was on some really heavy medication. And within 2 weeks, I wasn't able to put one foot in front of the other. The muscles in my legs wasted away so that the circumference of my calves reduced by over 2 centimetres. I ended up in a wheelchair and just miserable and in incredible pain. I went from being incredibly independent, wanting to do everything by myself, to literally not being able to go to the toilet by myself. I was in and out of Great Ormond Street Hospital, and the backdrop to that was my knowledge of God. I was in a process of getting worse and worse, and both physically but also just feeling really devastated emotionally. And I felt this anger with God. But as I started to process that anger, realised that I actually never questioned his existence, didn't even really question his attributes, whether he was real, powerful or good. I just doubted whether he was those things to me. And so I had people offer to pray for me and resented that, didn't want them to, but then came to a point where I needed something to change. And so I asked people to pray for me, and it was a turning point. And from that point forward, I started to gradually get better and better. Pain started to subside, mobility increased, and my life was turned around. And I don't have one of those miraculous overnight get better stories, but if the curve of my life was down, 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 that point where I invited people to pray for me, suddenly things got better and better and better. As a 13-year-old lad, it was a painful time, but actually one which has made me who I am today. If I fast forward on that story, I'm not marked by those symptoms anymore. Last year I rode a 100-mile cycle race, and I'm active, I play football, I've got 3 beautiful daughters, and so my life has been transformed, not necessarily in an instant, but through that decision, just gradually seeing him enter my life more and more, his power and his goodness shaping who I am.